Hello, all you peoply people, and welcome back to another session of Mage the Ascension. No fear for the wide awake. Which is... Hi, Melinda. Kyle, can you, let her know she's coming through on the mic?
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, we return to the second session of the prologue of our chronicle and our dear Anai's first exposure to the world of darkness. Hopefully it's been a fun experience for you.
It has so far.
I'm glad to hear that. Who wants to recap what happened last time?
Snaffle.
Gotta tap that spooky shit.
Well, we were all going about our magely business when we either started getting weird dreams about creepy things happening or just literally getting assaulted while going about our daily magic whiz-biz. Which led to us coming into contact with each other. So,
I met a superhero.
Also, my mic is doing weird things. It might be picking up my computer fan, so if there's an ambient buzz, somebody please let me know. I'm going to give it one of those and lower myself a little bit so hopefully it doesn't come through too hard.
Yeah, so I met up with Kyle. Or my mage met up with Kyle's mage, and Tom's mage met up with Anai's mage, where they were fighting the corpse of a dead child and a skunk, whereas Kyle and I were fighting somebody who decided to get a little too frisky at a Whitesnake concert, or at a Whitesnake tribute.
Tavern. Yeah, Whitesnake tribute band. That sounds like El Paso, though.
Unfortunately not, Daestra. Nobody wants Adam here more than I do, because his mages are... And I cannot wait to see what absolute fucking chaos he's unleashed upon us unworthy souls this time. But I think he's working. We might see him in an hour and a half-ish, but that's kind of a heavy maybe because he's usually tired after work, which is fair. We'll see what happens. I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much where we left off. We all smacked around the... Normally there's a name for the bad guys in the games we play, but this time I'm assuming it's something different. We don't get to just default to the anarchs or the worm creatures.
Well, it's up to you, because I did sample some other bits of WAD for this one. But I do like the conflicting narratives and conflicting viewpoints. So I will, again, leave that up to you. So, we start this session tonight outside the Isleta del Sur mission. As the sounds of chaos and anarchy begin to quiet in the distance, and you hear the rolling sound of sirens of an ambulance coming up the street. A car pulls up in front of the mission, and Yanis, I would like you to describe for me the vehicle that you drive.
Is it one of those funny-looking, three-wheel Eastern European cars?
No, that'd be outrageous.
Don't be silly.
We don't tolerate European cars over here.
Yeah, this is El Paso, so everybody drives a Toyota Tacoma.
Too true. It's obnoxious.
Let's go with
Sorry, go ahead.
a 1967 Mustang convertible.
Ooh. What kind of shape do you think it's in? I imagine that Yanis has, really fucking souped this thing up, but that's entirely up to you.
I like to think it has a spoiler on it.
I was going to say, does it have hypertech? That's a yes.
As the car pulls up, I would like Josh and Kyle to give me perception awareness. And we'll call this one a 7. Am I really the only person thinks of Yanni?
I'm not driving a ice cream truck.
Also, for some reason, and I think by mental connection from Yanni, I also think of Chuck Mangione from King of the Hill.
Chuck Mangione. He lives
And
at
the
the
8 and 5.
What's the Walmart stand-in called again in King of the Hill that he lives in?
Oh, Megalomart?
Megalomart.
Walmart. I got 4 successes. If you're in El Paso and you don't drive a Tacoma, you either try to flex by driving an F-250, or you don't have a lot of money, so you drive a Nissan Altima.
I don't think any of us even have any of those cars.
Well, we're not trying
My
to
mom
flex.
has a Toyota Tacoma,
Oh, never mind.
but hers is like from 2006 or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, El Pasoans love to have trucks, despite the fact that most of us don't need one. It's always the F-150, the F-250, or the Tacoma. And every once in a while, I see the Lincoln trucks, and I'm like, why the fuck did you buy that?
How I feel every time I see like the Gladiator.
No.
Why the fuck are you buying a truck Jeep? It feels less maneuverable. Yeah.
All the downsides of a Jeep and the size of a truck.
So 4 successes for Josh, and you had how many? 1 success, Kyle?
2.
Hey, nowhere at. For some reason, I read that as nowhere eat. Welcome, buddy. How's it going? Does anyone have the merit that makes your avatar be separate from you and walk around? I don't think anybody took that merit specifically, but Anai has her avatar as her mentor. So we just kind of work it that way, where she has a little... I don't know how you describe an alebrije to somebody who has no context.
Josh
Hold
can
on.
show it. He's next to it.
Oh, it's your familiar / mentor / avatar, isn't it?
Wait,
Oh no, the
not
mentor is
me.
the old lady. The familiar is the alebrije.
Yeah.
One of these little guys.
Yeah, she's got a little like Mexican chupacabra dragon like following her around everywhere she goes. It's up to you if anyone else can see it.
Okay.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
asking.
have that merit, but I feel like I probably should, given like mine's supposed to be some big weird shit.
Well, the avatar is meant to be like this symbolic embodiment of like your self-consciousness / deeper understanding / your actual I forget what it's called, but like your dynamic in Mage. So it's extraordinarily metaphysical and difficult to describe, but it sort of lives in your head and in your psyche. It's not necessarily its own creatures, minus Anais because special reason. So has Yanis been able to see Kiki this entire time and just not said anything, or is Kiki like invisible to everybody but you?
No, I'll say you can see Kiki, but Kiki was hiding this entire time.
Okay. All right. So those of you, sorry, go ahead.
So I saw it, just didn't say anything. Sounds accurate.
So sort of in front of the car that rolls up, you see these sort of wispy, long, dark black streaks flitting like gossamer silk through the night sky. And as they sort of get over the mission, they evanesce and disappear. And that is when the car pulls up. The what was it? The Pontiac convertible with the spoiler.
Mustang, but sure.
Mustang, that one.
I like to think I sped to like a screeching halt right in front of him.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely describe that. So it just comes slamming to a halt. The doors swing open, and out steps... What does Yanis look like? I don't know if we ever went over that. Currently in the modern day.
Does he still look like a pre-Roman Empire Celt?
Well, that would be funny. No. I don't think he wears loose, like, cargo pants. Not a long coat, but like a long jacket. That's like a beige color. No shirt. You might.
I would 100% think you were about to sell me drugs. Like, I would take one look
I got
at you
in
and
the
think this
car
dude's
with
got the
him.
hookup. Yeah, you got the car with me
Oh.
after he pulled an axe out of
I just-
as his fucking...
Yeah, I don't know.
You like to live dangerously. And I believe Anai described herself as a typical Hispanic girl.
Yeah, just average Mexican young adult.
Yin and yang in this car.
If you go to like one of those like AI people generators and you type in average Mexican woman, that's what she looks like.
I guess so.
And with that, the floor is yours.
Hi.
Little girl, get in my car.
Get in, nerd. We're going to do magic.
I will just kind of look at the random motley of people that have been assembled, and
How-
I
did
will
we
kind
get
of
here?
assume Thoth has led me to this point.
And just question Thoth. Like,
Why?
Yeah, I kind of raise an eyebrow and look at and I will say, "Are you here about the spirits?"
well, which one? The one I shot or the one that she bludgeoned to death? Well,
I'm gonna point to the
Death
top of the mission. Say something up there. Black wings.
do I see anything up there when he points?
No. It is, for all intents and purposes, a normal, fairly calm night, minus the sort of calming chaos in the distance as the ambulance arrived and, injured parties are being cared for.
I was gonna say, is the corpse of the Fomori looking thing we just defeated still on the floor? Or you said it disappeared, right? Where it, like, burned and bubbled away.
What a wonderful question. I think Kyle did light it on fire.
Did light it on fire.
So
He did light it on fire.
it was a
I would kinda hate him
Fomori,
less.
so I'll give you bones for that one.
Was it Fomori?
It was a Fomori, yes. Now,
Oh, okay.
a Fomori is a human possessed by a worm spirit. So I don't think I guess maybe the human body just instantly decays into a bottle of goop or something. Otherwise, we have a hard time explaining why most people don't know about the fucking worm. So I'm going to say that just sort of at your feet is this pile of like burning, bubbling green slop with like a vaguely humanoid skeleton somewhere between the stretched, melting entrails.
So I will point to the top of the mission, and then I'll point down to the bubbling slop, which I'm assuming is like letting out its last wheeze at this moment.
It's kind of like giving off this weird hiss as the last of the fucking body gases escape, and there might be like this little flickering torrent of fire coming off of one side as it catches a light.
Does the mission have like a water hose like set up outside for like spraying the lawn?
Not that I would imagine they would have just left there overnight. Somebody would fucking steal that shit. And I know that from experience, because when I used to work for Speedway, we weren't allowed to leave the hose set up overnight because people used to steal it. So we had to drag that fucking shit back in literally every time.
But would people steal from Jesus's home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have we not heard
Yeah.
of Constantinople? Christians will steal from Jesus' home.
There's a reason why my car came with lug nut locks.
So I will
People
kind of
can
do
pick it up. Someone will steal this one.
I will give a somewhat heroic bow and introduce myself as Cesar Caballero, and say that my avatar has led me here.
You know, you remind me of this one guy. Can't quite put my finger on him though.
I will say I get that a lot.
How many people could possibly tell you they remind you of a 60s Mexican superhero?
Probably the average Mexican woman across from me. But they might not be able to. I don't know if there's like a roll people have to make to like get that, like, hey, wait a second.
It would probably say in the merit. I honestly have no idea. I can leave that up to you if you want, or however you want to play it.
I will leave it up to them if they want to realize my legendary nature.
Also, did you just make El Fuego again, but different?
No.
Okay.
I tried not to. Like I said, Kaliman is supposed to be. No, he's not supposed to be, but he's. Wikipedia says he is best described as a cross between Doctor Strange and Iron Fist. For people who wouldn't be familiar with him.
So straight up that James Franco meme. It's different, or it's the same but different. But the same.
No, Kaliman has punching and magic powers. El Fuego had magic punching powers. It's completely separate.
I think we're just finding out what Josh really wishes he was doing.
Well, don't you?
Eh.
So I am going to turn to the after introducing myself. I'm going to turn to the.
Mr. Snurb, how's it going, buddy?
I'm going to turn to the mission and activate Spirit 1. And trying to see past the gauntlet.
Ooh. Yes. I would like you to roll Arate Diff 4.
Are you saying the gauntlet is weak here?
It's not necessary. Well, you're invoking a sphere, so this is a standard magic roll. Spirit 1 is perception. So if we use highest sphere plus 3, it's a diff 4 roll.
That would be 2 successes.
2 successes. So explain to me how you invoke your sphere.
So I when I decided to pick my traits, my instruments are katas, burning incense, meditation, controlled breathing, mantras, mandalas, and pressure points. So what I imagine I do is I kind of sit down on the floor in front of me. I take out some incense and I light it real quick as I kind of put my hands together in front of my stomach as I kind of open my eyes, kind of control my breathing, smell the incense, and kind of instead of attuning myself to the physical world around me, I kind of try to open my third eye, or whatever you'd want to call it, to the other world in front of me.
Okay. That works. But while he is doing that, what are the rest of you guys doing?
I remember my college years too.
I guess just for fun, I'm going to give them a. Plus, I just want to use the ability, like give them a little like miniature version of the thing we just fought, like create a physical illusion so that they can see, like, this is the thing we killed. This is what it looked like before it was goo.
So he shows you basically this holographic projection of this rumbling, rotund, flabby creature with one arm twisted into a distended, syringe-tipped hose. And I assume it just sort of like rotates in midair.
Yeah, just maybe like does like a little looped animation. It's like gross, isn't it? Look at that son of a bitch.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. If you're gonna do more of the scene, go ahead and do the scene.
I was just gonna say we fought something that looked equally gross, but it was a cat. Was it a raccoon? Or
It was a skunk.
Yes, a cat, skunk, and a little girl.
Yep. got to witness someone beat to death a little girl today
With an axe.
with an axe.
That's
Yeah.
pretty hardcore.
It
I
wasn't
came.
fun.
It was just that kind of a lame metal show. So this is a little more intense.
So about now, as you take a big whiff of the incense, Cesar, and your third eye begins to attune. So just to be 100% on the same page, you are looking into the near Umbra, yes?
Yes.
Or as mages would call it, the near Umbra, I believe. And then there's the low Umbra, which is the Shadowlands, and the high Umbra, which is the Dreaming, I believe.
I think I need to fall asleep to look into the dreaming.
Don't we all? Or just ask Yanis. He's got the hookup, apparently.
Yeah.
So what you see, the first thing that reaches you is not a sensation of sight, but touch. And it is the sensation of this greasy, oily film crawling across your metaphysical skin, if you will, across the lid of your third eye. And as you peer in, it is almost like looking through the window of a restaurant that has not been cleaned in several years, and all of the oils and gunk and fumes and stuff coming out from the pots and pans have just sort of made it this dingy sort of yellow, encrusted with grease and filth. And as you look through this brown, warbling, almost underwater effect, you can see what
Warbling.
appears to be the form of a woman, a very large woman, size-wise, not girth-wise. She is surrounded by a dull corona, but it is dim and at times flickering. From her posture, she does not look well. She looks as though she collapsed on the floor. And there is movement, sort of, across her surface, what looks like it might be some kind of insect. Several of them, in fact.
I'm going to stride toward the woman on the floor in that case.
So again, you are perceiving the Umbra. You are not in the Umbra currently.
Okay. I'm
if
saying,
you were,
like, in relation to it, can I move towards it?
you can. So she would theoretically be on the other side of the mission, where in meat space there's kind of a wall there.
Okay.
Space. Gotta love meat space.
I think, did I steal that from Cyberpunk? I know I pulled that from some kind of, either
I
that
have
or
no
Shadowrun.
idea.
I think we started calling the realm, or the physical realm, meat space from Changeling.
Maybe. I'm not sure where I yanked that from.
One of us made the joke.
Shadowrun, there we go. Thank you, Daestra.
Hell yeah.
But yes, as you get closer, the dull corona around her gets more intense, but not brighter, as if she is covered with these pinpoints of light. And the creatures that are sort of scuttling across her do look like insects, but they're clearly not. They are some sort of insectoid, crab-like, multi-legged arthropod, if you will.
Found the crabs.
Oh, it all comes around.
This is where the billion crabs went.
Guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to relay what I see to the fellow mages, even though they haven't done the courtesy of introducing themselves to me.
You don't even know if we are mages.
He's just some junkie that showed up with his fucking RN hookup.
I'm pretty clearly one as of right now, considering the first thing I do after we told you about this weird shit is like give you a literal illustration in 3 dimensions. So like I'm on the out at this point.
I'm going to say they can be reasonably certain you are, since it is easier to cast magic in your presence. If you try and do magic around normies, reality pushes back a little bit.
So I'm going to kind of go up to the wall on one side. I'm kind of trying to hold two visions in my mind at once.
That's going to be tough. How do you attempt to do that?
Basically trying to my paradigm is all as one. So even though separately the spirit world and the physical world are different, I'm trying to hold those two ideas in my head at the same time, kind of realizing there's the physical wall in front of me, while understanding in the near umbra things are different. And so it's basically trying to imagine the physical world and the spiritual world overlaying each other.
Okay, that sounds like an absolute rat bastard, but I will allow it. So what I would like for you right now is a perception alertness difficulty 9.
I was gonna say, can I activate Spirit One?
Yeah, if you wish.
So you said perception alertness difficulty 9?
Yes, please.
Reroll that one. A single success.
How'd you do on your Arte roll, Kyle?
2 successes.
2 successes. And how do you
3 successes.
How do you invoke Spirit One?
Let's see. I will, I guess, pull out a lighter, light it, and like kind of burn, like pull out some like tufts of herbs and like burn them, and then like whip out my feather and just sort of like kind of use that to see through the.
I get it. So
The
you like
veil.
sort of like smudge smoke around you.
More or less, yeah.
The smoke, as it sort of flows back in your face, is like gritty smog. It feels oily and disgusting, and the smell of it is burnt herbs yet, but something about it is bitter and oxidized. But as you move, you see much the same that Cesar Caballero does. Cesar, because you are focusing on 2 dimensions at once, as you sort of turn from the wall and begin to look around a little bit, you notice, almost imperceptible in the night, and even worse, looking through the dingy fog of this sickened umbra, one of the side doors to the mission is slightly ajar.
So I'm going to kind of get up to the wall, and when I realize I have the physical barrier in front of me, I'm going to say there's a sick spirit on the other side. And then I'm going to point to the door, and I'm just going to kind of walk over that way. And kind of like, I don't think trying to be stealthy is really going to matter to the spirit world, but I'm going to kind of try to carefully make my way to the open door.
Okay.
In my experience, everyone, there's nothing but sick spirits here. We're all sick spirits.
Are you going to try to hold that umbral vision, or are you going to let it go?
I'm going to try to hold it.
Okay, that's going to be quite a feat of concentration, so I'm going to ask for your dex stealth at a difficulty 8.
Dex and then stealth. Moderately good at this. 1 success.
Okay. So you kind of like hunker down, drop low into the shadows, and you're moving towards the door. What's everybody else doing?
Well, now that I have a view of what we're dealing with, I'm gonna let my vision dissipate and try and do like my little like mini hologram bullshit just to give the other 2 like an idea of what we're seeing.
Okay. So describe to me your projection, and then that is what they see.
I guess trying to, since he's an artist, like trying to use that idea of like I can draw what I can visually see, or like what I get in my mind's eye, and trying trying to remember the description you gave. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that thing you said, that's exactly what it looks like. That. Okay. So yes, you will see much the
It's not perfect, but like this black, inky, bitter, like just gnarly thing swarmed with like all manner of like little crab bug thing.
And the missing Alaskan king crabs.
Also, I'm just teasing you, Kyle. It's cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to help.
You do good. You do good. Good, Kyle.
Woof.
I can't tell if you're legitimately offended right now. If so, I apologize.
I'm gonna ask then if he's. I forgot Josh's name.
Yes, Cesar Caballero.
Okay,
Cesar
I kept thinking
Caballero.
Kaliman, and like, that's
If you
not-
want to recognize it, you just Kaliman is also fine.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll ask if Cesar's going towards the woman that you showed us.
I believe so. We should catch up to him.
He's
By the
actually
way,
moving away. So the woman that you guys see is sort of behind the mission. He is moving towards and into the mission.
Okay.
But do we
Well, I
know
guess we
that
follow
she's
him.
behind the mission or in the mission? I would assume. Based on his actions, she's in the mission. Personally. Well. Never been one for those land speakers, but I guess I'm going to the church.
probably best not to for any of us to wander around by ourselves. I'm Kedek, by the way. Nice to meet you. Wish it was under better circumstances. And then I'm just gonna like trot off to catch up with Cesar.
All right.
I'm gonna start running also and follow along and be like, I'm Katrina, by the way.
All right. So as Kaliman sneaks up towards the mission door, absolutely nobody else does, and just tramples right past him.
Yeah.
The door opens with a creak, and inside you can see the very old rustic-looking church. There's a few rows of pews leading up to the old stone altar and the graven image of Christ on the wall, and some pale moonlight trickles down from the windows. But other than that, it is dark. And I would like everyone to roll Perception Alertness 8.
Ooh.
And I activate Forces 1 to see in the dark.
Let's say yes, if you tell me how you do that.
So I will reach out and grab my bow's balls, whatever, out of my pocket. Just give them a little twirl and then like a cling, and just sort of like that reverberation to kind of activate my senses into like a higher field.
So are you like seeing like Daredevil right now, where everything's like sonar?
No, it's more just like the sound of a different frequency registers through my mind to kind of like activate that specific tone association into the spell.
Okay.
Like some people would write it out and read it, and I just need like this thing to trigger and like remind me how to do the spell.
I have no idea what you're referring to, but I'm running Mage, so I'm prepared for that to happen. It works.
Harmonic frequencies, like certain harmonic frequencies, like send like some thought pattern, be like, oh yes, this is what I'm going for.
I like to imagine you just take out a tuning fork and bang it.
Well, no, that's why I got my nifty little balls. It's like focus and then.
I didn't know we were bringing props.
I am fucking stocked up.
To be
I got
fair,
my props.
you had an Alabrije. You started this.
I got it. I got my prop.
It's true.
Kyle, it would be most excellent though if you could cast magic using a Fushigi ball.
Oh
I
man.
don't have one of those.
Oh man, who wants to run the Turn of the Millennium Mage? We're just somebody who's like the Fushigi guy. Just Dex 5. All right, so how'd you guys do on the roll? Everybody except Kyle, since he's doing magical bullshit.
I got
Since I'm an asshole.
I got 1 success.
Okay, so those of you who actually rolled with your actual regular meat eyes, might as well use
what
a
was the
fidget.
diff?
8, since it is dark.
Oh. I think mine should be 9 since I have sunglasses on.
If you want to roll at a 9, I'll allow it.
Okay, I still got 1 success though.
Fair enough. So those of you, as you sort of enter the dark mission, maybe about 10 feet from the altar, there is this odd mass just in the center of the floor. Kedek, now that you're activating your harmonic frequencies and can see in the dark currently, you can tell that it's a body. It looks like a woman, a different woman from the one that you saw through the Umbra. And she, I'm sorry, Ani, but she does not look like your average late Mexican. How did you put it?
Standard Mexican woman.
You can sort of see that she's maybe early to mid-20s. She has a thick set of dreadlocks in her hair, and she has this very, like, earth-toned, rustic-looking, like, off-the-shoulder dress that might be homemade, as far as you can tell, if you were to really, like, closely look at the stitch work. She is festooned with just tons of jewelry, like charm bracelets and necklaces with just one too many pieces of dangly shit. And it's a bunch of like crosses and sugar skulls, and she's got like little tiny keychains, I Heart EP, hashtag El Paso Strong, a whole bunch of different stuff. And you can tell that she has a tattoo of the star on the mountain on her shoulder.
She might as well be wearing she might as well be wearing a Chuco Relic t-shirt while she's at it.
Got an EP baseball cap.
Or Chihuahua's
Chihuahuas.
You can find both.
Can I make a roll to see if any of her adornments are magical?
You could, but are you going to approach, because you're still technically in the dark?
I'm not gonna approach you yet. I want to check it from a distance first if I can.
Okay. I will meet you halfway, and I'll say that by the time that you get close enough to see her adornments and determine if they are magical, first I would like an intelligence occult roll from you, as you are the only mage that's actually been around for a while, and you've been around the block for a couple dozen millennia or so.
I was like, to be fair, in and out for the past couple of millennia.
Okay, also. That is true.
Kyle, are you going to mention anything about seeing a body?
Guys, there's a body right there. In front of the altar.
What the fuck?
So if he actually does mention it out loud, I'm going to drop my my
I'm mentioning it, like I whisper it.
Okay. I'm going to drop my spirit sense and kind of crouch down amongst the pews to approach the body.
Okay.
What was the diff, Charlie?
I'm going to say it is an 8, since this is more... this is not a widely known practice, I don't think, and especially as Josh has brought up, you have blinked out in and out of reality several times.
I only got 3 successes in that case. I could have had 6 if it was a normal diff.
3 is enough. You kind of recognize what you're looking at here. The fact that she is festooned with all this El Paso shit, it strikes you as more than just civic pride. You think that this girl, when she was alive, which is probably fairly recently, you think she's actually, or was actually, a city shaman. There are actually people who make pacts with the animistic spirit of a city, and they serve that spirit, and there are certain bonds and pros and cons and bans and things they can't do. If so facto, the jewelry on her person, maybe even the star on the mountain, might actually be some sort of ritual foci for her. So the chances of her being a mage are probably extraordinarily high, you would imagine.
Good to know.
So when I approach her and I get close enough, I'm assuming I'm going to be able to tell she's dead.
Yeah, she is not breathing. She is not moving. Do you have medicine?
I do have medicine.
I do.
Apparently, I have a lot of medicine too. Just
Yeah.
physically, according to Charlie.
Anyone who would like to roll a perception medicine may do so.
Can I do perception life to see what killed her? Not perception life, but
Difficulty?
not in this circumstances. Difficulty 6, just standard 6.
Okay. Just perception. That's medicine. 2 successes.
1.
I got 5.
5. Okay. So 1 success for Kyle. You look around.
Yep, she dead.
Oh, she did.
You're not. Well, she's clearly not breathing. She is not responsive. If you roll her over, she is cold to the touch. So yes, she is very dead. 2 successes on
Kaliman.
You don't immediately see any stab wounds. It doesn't look like she hit her head. You're not sure what killed her, but there is this look of distress, concern, confusion just plastered on her face onto eternity. Ani, with your 5 successes, you have that's an extraordinary success. You cannot possibly fucking do better. You know all of the things. You're just sort of looking at her and giving her the once over. Her heart stopped. You're not sure why, but something stopped her heart. And if you have any questions that you would like to ask about that with your exceptional success, I will happily fire hose you all the information I can possibly provide.
You said her face was in a state of shock?
Shock, concern, worry, confusion, all that sort of mixed. It's like a one of those, just frozen.
Could you say she was scared to death?
It could be possible, but well, I don't think Giannis has said anything about her being a mage, so we'll just say it could entirely be possible. Perhaps, maybe. Yes, no, maybe so.
Well, I'll let everybody know that heart stopped beating. That was
The cause of death.
I was going to say, most people's hearts stop beating when they die. It'd be
Yeah, he's so
unusual if the
sassy.
heart kept beating. No.
I don't remember Kaliman being so sassy.
Did you watch the movie? He does give a little bit of lip in the 12 minutes that I watched, of which he was probably in maybe 2 of them.
I didn't see her spirit though when we arrived here, right?
You did not. But that's, again, did specify that you were looking into the near Umbra.
Okay. I am going to go over to well, her heart stopped, but I kind of looking around the building, does anything seem out of place? There's no knives on the altar or any. I guess I'm looking for any sign of ritual.
No, there are no signs of weird ritual or anything untoward happening here.
And it doesn't look like she was crucified, I'm assuming, like I saw in my visions.
No. She has no wounds whatsoever.
Does she... I'm going to rifle through her pockets and look for an ID. That way I can at least, at some point, notify a coroner.
So she has a purse, because homemade dress, she didn't make pockets on it. So you do find, like, an ID in a wallet. Her name is Azochi Mendoza, age 23.
Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
But the first thing that your hands lands on is not her wallet. It is what might be a mirror. And I say might be because you pull out... It appears to be a hand mirror that is constructed mostly a frame of bone and leather sinew. And there is a shattered piece of glass literally bound to it with leather straps. And from the bottom of the mirror, do you have survival by any chance?
Do I have survival? I don't think I do. I don't think I took it. Nope.
Some kind of animal teeth. If you look at it, I'll give you the roll, but it's some kind of animal teeth hanging off of it. And it looks like a mirror, but it doesn't reflect. In fact, as you sort of look at it, you can almost see through the mirror, and the glass seems to display that dingy, dirty, murky view of the Umbra that you tapped into yourself.
Ah, okay. So I can tell this is some kind of artifact.
Game terms would be a fetish, but yes.
Okay, fetish, okay. I knew the term fetish, but I wasn't sure if that only applied to werewolf.
It does not. No, mages... There's a lot of fucking crossover.
Okay, we all have fetishes is what you're saying.
Yes. Everybody's got a little kink, in the words of Aurelio Voltaire.
Some dope-ass little trinket.
Can I tell if does this look like it's supposed to be broken, or is that something that might have happened as an effect of what was seen inside of it?
How could you tell? Like, the glass itself is not broken. It is a shattered chunk of glass that's been tied to the frame of the mirror.
Okay, never mind.
Forgive me if I did not espouse properly.
Wait, so there's just the one body in here, no one else?
Yes.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Oh, then forgive me if I did not espouse properly. Apparently, I'm the worst fucking GM. I don't know why you put up with me.
Doing good.
You know, I would commit seppuku, but Adam is not here to help me, and I need somebody to cut off the head because I don't trust myself.
Put them
Well, that would
kendo
be
skills to work.
Well, he didn't buy the katanas for nothing, I assume. Although I'll have to make sure he sharpens up the weeb stick because that's gonna be a couple of whacks. Those maul katanas.
Not if you buy one of those blue steel swords, or what were they called? We used to have the infomercials for them.
Oh, is that the one that like shattered when the guy swung it and he got it in the eye?
I don't know about that.
Adam! Well, hello! Glad you could join us. No, seriously, we love you, buddy. Also, I know Daestra has been super, super bad wanting to see Dr. Megamax, so we're looking forward to it.
Dr. fucking Megamax. Legend. So good.
Oh, I can't wait. Like,
The AI representation is just so good.
yeah, but it would be for my honor, Adam. Like, isn't that what really matters?
And wait, hang on. You don't cut the head, you cut the neck.
That feels like semantics, but yes.
Hey,
Hey, you fucking tell me semantics when you get your head cut instead of your neck.
fair
I
enough.
can literally think of at least one Norse myth where that's a very important distinction.
All right, I will. I'll hold the L on this one.
Loki would definitely have words with you about how important the distinction between the neck and the head is. But I'm going to pick up the mirror, and realizing that it's looking into the near umbra, I'm going to point out that this woman was a mage as well, and she was looking for something here in the spirit world.
Mr. Cesar, can I take a better look at that?
I will hand him the fetish.
Can I take a look at the bits and pieces? The
Perception
toothy bits?
survival. Or intelligence survival, if you prefer.
Oh, I do. What am I looking for?
Standard. Let's call this a 7, actually.
7. Okay. 2 then.
2 successes. Those look like wolf teeth. Like wolf fangs, and they're big fuckers. Like wolves on steroids.
God, these are huge wolf fangs. Like, there aren't wolves in this part of the country. More or less anything with fangs this big.
Wolf teeth, you say?
Yeah.
Can I make an occult roll on that?
I was going to say that I also make an occult intelligence roll.
I'll give it to you.
I'm helping.
Go for it.
I'm not. Kedek has no fucking idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too.
Difficulty 8.
I got 5 successes.
Yeah, you did. You've been around long enough.
Hold on. Give me.
I got a 1, an 8, a 10, an 8, a 9, an 8, and a 5.
I got 3 successes.
I got 4.
4. Okay. So, when you were training under your mentor, Ana, the old, what did you call her, the Brujaita or something?
Brujeria?
No, she was, I forget the exact words that she used, but I thought it meant like little bruja or something.
Are you talking about curandera?
No, god damn it, I have it written down. Go activate notebook. Brujita, yeah, that's what you said. Does that not mean little bruja?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emma was her name. So when you're training under Emma, she explained to you once that there were more than one spirit world. And the one that she showed you was the one of the dead. But some spirits don't go to the dead. There are spirits of the earth and the sky and the mountain, the forest, the trees. And her particular brand of magic, and by extension yours, they don't really deal with that. And she warned you not to. Because that particular branch of the spirit world has guardians. Massive, feral wolves that exist at once in the flesh and in the spirit. Kaliman, in your travels throughout Mexico, what sort of... Okay, well, let's talk about Thoth, right?
So in ancient Egypt...
What are the Egyptian werewolves called again?
Silent Striders.
There we go. Yeah.
So actually, this is a good point. So I'm kind of at a loss. How do you think Kaliman would have come up with some sort of knowledge about this?
I do have a library and a sanctum, so I might have read it in the cult text that I have. But considering he is a superhero who fights supernatural creatures, I at some point have physically fought a werewolf.
Okay.
And I imagine he's kind of rubbing his knuckles as he remembers punching it in the mouth and cutting his hand.
Oh shit.
Okay, so you probably
ag damage.
Yeah. I will look at the mirror when he says they're wolf teeth and I realize how big they are. I will just say licantropo as I kind of hold my hand.
And fucking Yanis knows everything. You fucking dealt with these motherfuckers before. You fucking had to deal with fucking Silver Fang Romans and fucking all number of fucking shit as you were traveling across Europe and trying not to die. This is absolutely...
What do you mean?
Is that a sincere question?
What do you mean try not to die?
Oh, that's right, you're immortal. Have Doe as an ability? It does. I believe you have to be a Kashyana to take it. All right, no problems, nowhere. You have a good one, buddy. Thanks for being here.
Hey, buddy.
So with your 5 successes, you know exactly what you're looking at. This is a Garou fetish. It has a Jaggling of the Wild bound into it. You don't know. You doubt very much this was given to her. It could have been. It could have been stolen by her. And
Am I aware of the delirium?
Probably, but it doesn't really affect you. Like, since you're supernatural, the delirium does not happen. It just kind of slides off.
Yeah, but that's it. I'm trying to piece together what happened to this lady.
If she is a mage, as you suspect, the delirium wouldn't have happened to her either. Also, what fucking werewolf is going to kill her and leave her without a scratch?
A glass walker?
Fair point.
But also with your 5 occult successes, you think that this fetish would actually allow you to sort of step sideways into the Umbra.
Oh, no.
Spoopy.
Are you relaying any of that information?
You guys want to see something neat with that we can do with that?
I'm afraid to ask, but yes. Or I'm afraid to find out, but yes.
I will say you know how it works, and you can give us a demonstration.
Oh, I do know how it works. Well, I know how it works. I know that it does work. Storyteller, do I know how to work with it?
Since you know what it does, you can kind of reverse engineer it. So yeah, I'm gonna say you could make it do the thing, because I was actually looking up the fetish rules in Mage earlier, and it's even a regular fucking dickhead can get a hold of a fetish and make it do its thing if they have the right paradigm for it.
Shaking it hard enough.
So Yanis can. You might not know exactly how it works, but you can figure it out.
Give me 5 minutes. I can make that thing sing for y'all.
Okay. Sure.
And
In that 5 minutes, can I
guarantee
light some candles or some shit just to get some light in the room?
Sure, if that's what.
Are you gonna light the candles that people pay for the donations for?
Nah.
What are they for again? It's been so long since I've had to.
You light it just for the memory of one of your
Okay.
past.
I remember the big thing with all the candles set up and people paying a quarter and lighting them up.
But it's also
Rip-off artists.
blessings in general.
I'm just gonna get whatever candles are. It's a Catholic mission.
I'm gonna go put $5 in the little donation box.
We see who the lawful good member of the party is. She just counts and deposits exact change.
They get enough. I'm not worried about it.
They're tax exempt. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
They've been around long enough.
Thing is older than the city it's in.
All right, well, let's try not to leave any magical evidence lying around. We don't want the Society of Leopold coming after us.
Good
I'm
point.
using
I'll
a
bring the body
lighter.
with us. Said good point. I'll bring the body with us.
So I'm gonna help Kyle do the candles, but I'm also gonna be on the lookout to see if there's anything else that's out of place.
Like what?
I guess
By
if,
the way, Yusuf is body shaming your cat.
He's very long for a cat.
yeah, just let him be.
Yes, they're deceptively long.
I think he ate one of his siblings in utero.
Gosh,
I think that's why he's the length of 2 normal cats.
Yusuf, as a moral imperative, I cannot condone shaming somebody for being tired. He's not sick, he's exhausted, and I fucking feel that. Bottom of my soul.
I'm gonna see if I don't know. I see any. I keep thinking of Scooby Doo. I'm like footprints, handprints. I don't know. Just like anything that shouldn't be there.
There's a body.
Yeah, but while I walk around putting candles, helping with the candles, like anything else in the corners. Any dead cats?
Are you specifically looking for spirits, or are you looking, like, physically?
Physically.
Physically, I will tell you, you don't need to make a roll. There's really nothing out of place. If you were to sort of piece this together, she cracked the door. She snuck in here. She died. You don't know how. But she was the only one here, perhaps. You don't see any footprints. You don't see any handprints. There's no weird, like, evidence of foul play. There's not really, like, scratches along the wall or anything that was moved or hidden.
This is one of those moments.
There is fingerprints on her.
If I had another dot in one of my spears, I could just answer this question. I just need that one extra dot in time just to kind of...
Oh, that'd be dope.
I wonder. Oh wait, you know what? I was about to say, I wonder when my demon's gonna show up, but then I remembered. Oh right, he's always late.
I was actually, I was gonna, like, take you aside and, like, sidebar, like, how do you feel about Nashota having a cameo? I didn't want to do that necessarily because I didn't want to take spotlight away from Yanis. But if that's something that you want, I would be open to that, just because continuity.
I've already given you full permission to use all my PCs that I've ever played as NPCs.
Oh well, I don't want to use them. I wanna say, hey, Nashota shows up, go Tom, because you can play him better than I can. But I might take you up on that at some point.
Well, the ones that aren't dead, that is, of course. Well, okay, you still have permission to use the dead ones. I don't care. You figure that shit out.
Wait, which ones are fucking dead?
Well, my Jawa previously.
You got the Jawa back!
I said previously.
Yeah. So which ones are dead?
What was his name?
Wraith for starters.
Wraith, yes. My Space Australian.
Okay, he got grab hammered in the face, and I didn't really want to do that. But if I find a way to use your Starfinder character in World of Darkness, well, we are playing Mage, so, anything's possible.
Anyway.
So while he's trying to figure out how to get the fetish to work, I'm gonna try to open my my spirit sense back up and kind of observe that body on the other side again. See if it's still being basically crawled over by the ghost crustaceans.
Again, they're not ghosts because you're looking into the near umbra. They are spirit crustaceans.
Yeah.
And yes, and you can see this woman, the way she is breathing. She looks almost like a very sick, dying dog, the way it just sort of languishes there and stares into space and just... as if it's struggling for every breath. That's what this woman looks like.
Can I ask Kaliman if he can tell if that's like the same woman that we have here dead? I'm assuming yes.
Okay, so remember what I said a little while ago about there being multiple spirit worlds?
Yeah.
He is not looking into the spirit world of the dead.
Okay.
He is looking into the spirit world of animism. So by corollary, dead people do not go to that realm. So it would not be her. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I threw a lot of like deep lore knowledge into this, and maybe that wasn't entirely fair to you. So if you're lost at all, I apologize. It's entirely my fault.
I don't mind asking dumb questions.
No. You're not dumb. Everybody's got to start somewhere, and I'm super glad you're on this ride with us. But we have been doing this a long fucking time because we're dorks.
Hey, Anna, yeah, I'm half lost, too. Don't worry.
Although I will tell you, if that is Katarina's line of thinking, nobody has checked the world of the dead yet.
I have
My space in
two
general is silly.
2 dots on spirit. That's what that does, right? Like that's the kind of that's the world I'd be looking into, or no?
So you are a mage. You can do whatever the fuck you want. The only limit is your spheres. So the way it works is the first dot is perception. The second dot is minor effects. So if you want to look into the world of the dead, the Shadowlands, or the Low Umbra, depending on the terminology you wish to use, it is absolutely something you can do.
I do not have spirit.
Adam, do you have spirit?
I do.
Now, how many of you have correlation?
Correspondence.
That's the one, thank you. I don't know why I called it correlation. I was really grasping C word. That one.
Not me.
I do not have correlation or correspondence.
I do not.
Yeah,
Though I do plan on picking that up.
correspondence, super good, yo. That's
Currently,
I would argue that correspondence is probably the most busted one. You know what? Fuck this whole chronicle. Let's go to Mars.
Hasn't finished his sheet yet.
Are you fucking serious, Adam? That's a meme. You can't literally not finish the sheet.
I think he's telling the joke.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm doing, and I finished my sheet. Adam.
Also, Adam, you said you're driving. Please be careful.
That's a good point.
Please be careful.
So what was everybody doing again?
I'm trying to observe the woman on the other side, seeing if I can figure out what's wrong with her.
So,
I'm taking us on a journey.
Josh is looking into the animistic spirit world. Kyle's currently lighting candles. Yanis, I assume, is like fiddling with the mirror and like tickling the dangling fangs and like banging the side of it.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna try to see if I can find this dead woman's spirit and ask what she was up to.
I like it. All right. That is going to be Arate difficulty 4 because you're using Spirit 1.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. So, the world around you fades slightly. Color drains from it, and the mission begins to grow gray and cracked as plaster begins to tumble off the wall, and bits and pieces and bare brick lays beneath. And you begin to see the motions of your compatriots as but a ghostly overlay upon the world that you now look into. And where the woman is lying, where her body is, you see what appears to be some sort of amorphous shape. It could almost be like a blob of jelly or some kind of bag. But through the nearly translucent skin of this membrane, you can see there does seem to be some sort of humanoid form, like struggling inside it. And as you are watching this thing shift and move, in the low umbra in the Shadowlands, the ghostly echo of the door seems to slide open, and you see somebody poke their head in. They stare rather furtively at the shifting mass on the floor, and they seem to regard it with no small amount of interest.
They're not making eye contact with me though, right?
They can't see you. You're
They can't see?
you're in the quote unquote real world. You're in meat space. You're staring at like ghost shit. You're the ghost.
I'm gonna walk around the thing in the middle to see if I can see inside the room where the other thing is looking in.
So they're looking into the mission. They're looking into the room that you are looking into now.
Oh, they're outside of the mission?
They are outside looking in.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
And as you watch, the door cracks open a little bit, and you see this figure beneath a low-slung dark hood. Their face is drawn and gaunt and just slightly too long, to the point where it begins to recede into almost this uncanny valley of a human form. And their eyes shift to the left, to the right. They peek up over the window and out to make sure nobody's there, and they reach in to a coat, and they pull out a serrated knife, black and wicked looking, as they begin to stalk closer to the shifting membrane on the floor.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
I don't know what I can and can't do.
What do you have? Well, how many dots of spirit do you have?
2.
2? You can physically interact with the spirit world if you want to.
So okay.
Danny Phantom.
Mm.
Dude, that was a good fucking show. I still like Danny Phantom. I didn't get Paramount Plus for nothing.
Too bad about the creator.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, Butch Hartman is kind of,
No bueno.
Kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, I like to forget that Butch Hartman is not the greatest dude, but you know, it does kind of need to be acknowledged. Let's see, the dude literally, like, is it fair to say he scammed people with Oaxis? And then he's like
pretty hard.
And then him and his fucking wife run like an anti-autism charity, and I seem to vaguely remember him doing some anti-trans shit, but knowing as like deeply Christian as he is, that doesn't come as a shock. But I'm not 100% sure, so that's conjecture. I can't back that up. But yeah, Butch Hartman, man, be better.
So the lady's basically trapped, right? It's not like that's her shape. It looks like she's trapped in a shapeless thing, or that's just what she looks like.
Where she is laying in the real world, in the spirit world, you see sort of this human form trapped beneath this membrane, and you can sort of see her as a dark silhouette on the other side of this skin. It could be her, could be somebody else. You really only see a human form.
Okay. With interacting, can I try to like push the man away? Like, can I just I don't know, airbend him away?
Totes can, home slice. How do you want to do that? Explain to me magically how it happens.
Use the sage.
What other circles or what other spheres do you have besides spirit?
Life and mind.
Okay. So it is worth pointing out that you can combine spirits into one effect.
Okay.
Just I'm not sure if that was made clear. But no,
I
you.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have. Yeah, you can absolutely just stack shit upon shit upon shit.
But would mine work on ghosts?
Do you believe it can?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
You
gonna
got
say
spirit
yeah.
too. That's all you need. You can touch any spirit.
Yeah,
however you
I'm
want.
also not necessarily saying that you have to combine. I'm just letting you know your options here.
So, like, Spirit 2 allows you to minorly affect the other side. I think Spirit 3 is when you can actually punch ghosts and stuff like that.
Well, I
But,
think
like,
3 is when you can like go across the veil.
But I know mine too, which is what I have, is also like you can put like small thoughts in other people's brains. So I was thinking, I can try to convince him to like turn around or leave. Or if he was looking to see if anybody else was there, I can also try maybe pushing something so that there's like a noise and rattle him away from there.
All of these are options.
Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna grab my salt from my pocket because that's just what I do.
And you say, "Welcome to Flavor Town, motherfucker." Pocket salt.
Take my hat off. I have
Shotgun with
frosted
rock
tips.
salt.
No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna throw it.
Oh, just make it one big rock salt and throw it.
I'm gonna throw it at him, conveying like as much evil, or not evil, but like I'm trying to portray a feeling of being scared, so that I can push it onto him and he can feel that, and then I'm gonna turn around and with spirit try to make something fall over so it makes a clanging noise.
Okay. That's technically two separate effects, but I'll allow you to. You can combine it. Sure. What the fuck? Who cares?
Okay.
So, Arate Diff 5, since you're using Spirit 2 to do this. Very nearly. I've tried to convince her to make a character Daestra, because I'm sure she would love the Verbena. Like, she would adore the fucking Verbena in this game, but sometimes getting her to sit down and RPG with us, especially something new, is a little bit of an arm twist. Like, she really likes Changeling, she really likes D&D, and I think she might be just cool with that.
I got one.
So, the rest of you guys, as you're sort of doing your thing, you see her just sort of haul back and toss salt into the air. But you, seeing into the spirit world, you toss the salt across this guy's back, and he sort of leaps and looks around as there's not too many, shall we say, items in the world of the dead for one reason or another. But there's this, perhaps maybe one of the candles topples off the shelf by the force of your personality and belief, and it reverberates down, sort of echoes through the low umbra, and he sort of looks around, his eyes darting frantically. He turns and bolts. The humanoid figure beneath the membrane doesn't seem to really notice one way or the other. They're just like pushing and straining against this, for lack of a better term, sack that it seems to be smothering them.
Can I grab the sage and blow the smoke around it? See if that can help get the main membrane off? I don't know.
I'm gonna say it looks like a physical thing. Like it would need to be like cut or lacerated somehow.
Well, then I don't think I would have anything. I'll try to go back and just let them know what I saw. Get some advice.
Okay.
It's like, oh shit, candle. Let's not burn the place down.
I mean, I would suggest you can try pulling it off.
Can I borrow that axe again?
You don't have any scissors?
I didn't.
Wait. So she's just watching. She's been watching a spirit just kind of like stab the.
Well, the spirit didn't get close to the call. She sort of like spooked it. She spooked the spook before it could get close enough to do the thing.
And I would fucking love like a horror movie or show where like the ghost gets scared off by something. Like they get hit with the jump scare. Like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Fucking ghost gets dicked and just is confused.
It's like rubbing its jaw. Like, excuse me?
Just literally looks like that kangaroo that gets punched.
It's like I get I threw a chair, but damn.
Can I touch things in the ghost side?
I'm going to say a minor effect, sure. If you believe that you can, if you believe that by utilizing the spirit sphere you can physically reach through and interact with things, then yeah. I have no problem with the idea that Katarina's, shall we say, magical discipline would lead her to believe she could do that.
Okay, then I guess I'll try to pull off the membrane.
Okay, so I won't make you roll spirit again because you're actively like using the thing to affect the other side. So you see Katrina sort of just like grab the air above the dead woman's body and begin to like tug, and I believe this is some pretty like tough shit. So I'm gonna ask for a strength athletics difficulty 8.
Hell. Got this.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. So you grab it and it feels cold and fleshy, like ice cold, like it's never been warm. And you pull, and as you pull, you grit your teeth. It's hard. It's like thick industrial rubber, but eventually it does begin to stretch, and the stretch widens into these wide, white, thinning layers, and that begins to break and tear and pull apart as a hand comes through. Then a second hand, as both of you are like pulling against this, and sort of from this thick, fleshy membrane, you see the spirit of this woman sort of stumble out, looking around very confused.
I'm gonna ask what happened to her, or what she thinks happened.
She cannot see you.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm going to say like actually communicating with her might be a different role.
I guess I'll just let everybody know what happened.
Hey guys, I was doing some weird shit while you were lighting candles. Like you're just kind of standing around doing shit and you're having your own fucking adventure.
Sounds like you awoke in a rave.
Be able to have.
Or do you describe that it's the same woman that whose body we just found?
Yeah, from what I can tell, at least.
I will ask if you can speak to her then.
Sorry, Fitz is being really weird. Um,
Having a fit.
I get
I'll
it.
say I tried, but she can't. She can't see me. She can't hear me.
I mean, theoretically, no ghost has been able to see or hear you usually, but this is what you do.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, no,
at
with
least
Spirit too, you should have some ability to like be able to talk to her. I don't know about them being able to see you.
You got a Ouija board on you? I hear they like that.
I don't know if we want to play with that one.
I mean, you have mind too, and you have spirit too. You can't talk to her, but you could project a thought into her head if you wanted to. That would like let her know you're there.
Okay.
So you can create an impression in somebody's mind with mind too, and you can affect the spirit world with spirit too. So if you can think of something that would like an image or an impulse that you could give to her that would let her know you're there.
Okay.
That's like one option you have.
I'm gonna try to project an image of the four of us around her dead body in the physical realm, or in the what was it in the meat world?
It's not actually called meat space. That's just what we call it. You call it the real world or whatever fucking nomenclature you want to use. So you imagine you just wake up from a nap and all of a sudden you just get hit with this image of your dead fucking corpse, and there's people staring at you like poking you with a stick.
I mean, she was in the spooky plastic goo.
So
She-
normie sphere. So you shoot her this image, and she stops, and you see her eyebrows narrow as this sort of just look of just horror comes over her face, and she grasps like the laden charm bracelet on her wrist, and she sort of like whispers something into the ether, and nothing happens. And she does it again and nothing happens, and growing more desperate she does it a third time and nothing happens.
Send her some good vibes. You can send emotions to people.
Send her some calming thoughts.
you just smooth jazz. Ocean sounds.
ASMR.
Ghost whale noises.
The feeling of touching a puppy.
At this point, she starts putting two and two together, and you hear her call out, "Who's there?" "I know someone's there. I know someone's trying to communicate with me. Who are you?"
Then I'll send a picture of me.
Oh man, you could have just really fucked with her and just mentally sent her the Tu Madre or something.
Ah,
You can talk in her head, right?
She can't fully like talk, but she can
send
like
feeling.
mind too. You can only create like an empathic bond and send like impulses and stuff like that.
So you show her the picture of you. And
Oh, you can send single words.
Wait, so I can send simple. You said simple words?
Single. Like
Single.
one word at a time.
Well, still just the picture of me, so she knows.
Okay, so you send her the picture of you, and she sort of moves to the approximate location where you were standing when you showed her the picture of you guys and her dead body. And she's fairly close as she sort of moves in front of you, and she sort of like waves her hands in the air, trying to lay hands on something that clearly is not there, but to your perception, she's like doing one of these, and her hands are like passing through you.
What should I ask her? What if I just say what?
What? What, fool?
What's it like to die? Is it fun?
Did you do a flip?
I don't know if I should just send her the word fun.
Just entertaining us, oh god.
One day she'll learn not to.
I mean, you could just ask her how.
Okay, how? Yeah, how's
How
the word?
die?
How what?
How many
Why die?
words is she able to send, Josh?
It just says that you can send. You can create like an empathic bond.
Uh-huh.
So you can either like quickly send somebody like one word, an impulse, or like an emotion, or you can create like an empathic bond. And I'm assuming that's how you only. That's a more sustained version, I think, is what you could do. So
Wait.
like you can't fully read somebody's mind. You can't fully send full sentences to them, but you can like send emotions in like one word.
Well, Spirit 2 says you can just speak to spirit entities.
Because okay.
Who's lying to me?
I was looking at Mind 2. So what is it? Spirit 2, Perception, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I never said you couldn't talk to her. I just said it would be a different role.
Oh.
I was wondering why you didn't just do that, but I was like, okay, we can do this, I
I
guess.
thought you said I couldn't talk to her. Never
No,
mind
I
then.
said I'm going to say that's a different role. That was my exact words.
My bad.
I'll take that as my fault, but
No.
like you've talked to ghosts before. I just kind of figured.
That's a good point. I have. So then I'm gonna ask her what happened to her. How did she die?
Night, Adam.
Good night, buddy. Have a good one.
Good night.
So that's it then. I'm dead. I am dead. This is the Dark Umbra, the bad one.
Yeah, you quote some Neil Gaiman at her on 8. Tell her she gets what everybody else gets. A lifetime.
I'll tell her it happens to everybody, but how did it happen to you?
I'm not sure. The city, she's sick. Do you understand? Can you understand? The heart of the city is sick. There's something bringing a sickness down, and she contracted the symptoms. I thought I tried to heal her. I thought I could heal her. I don't know if it was the paradox. I don't know if something pushed back on me, but I must have pushed too hard. The last thing I remember seeing was those horrible spider things.
But would she be able
Cribs.
to like she can't see, oh no, she can't see me, so she can't see anybody else. The spider thing. So is that what you were doing here? You were trying to heal the city?
I was trying to heal City Heart. Listen, do you know what I'm talking about? Does any of this make any sense?
Not really.
Listen, City Heart can't die, not necessarily, but she can get sick. She can get very, very sick. And if she gets too sick, things get bad. Do you understand? It starts changing the nature of things. It changes the people in the city, the way they act, the way they feel, and it starts bringing these horrible creatures through the veil.
Okay. I think I saw that actually. Do you know what's causing it?
I'm not sure. I don't think anything infected her directly. She's too powerful for that. But spirits are sensitive. If there's something bringing darkness, the spirit world reverberates in its own way. Do you understand? I'm trying here. I don't know what's causing this, but I know it made her very sick. And when she gets sick, things get bad. And it's going to get worse unless we can inoculate her somehow.
Okay. I'm gonna tell everybody what she said.
Then the city will become.
I was gonna say, can we hear Katrina speaking this whole time? Or is that...
Yeah, you can hear her talking into the void. If you wish to, you can try and tap your own spirit sphere if you know where she's looking. I don't really know that she went, hey, I'm a necromancer to you guys. So you might not know that she's looking into the Dark Umbra currently. But yes, you can hear Katrina to answer your question specifically.
I'm just gonna... Kedek's just looking around at, like, the other two, like, is any of the things she's saying into the void making sense to you guys, or...
I think she's crazy.
So Katerina said she's relaying what she's talking to the ghost about.
I'm telling
So
everybody.
I'm looking into the penumbra and I see the woman covered in the weird spider things. I'm going to ask Katerina if she can ask the spirit of the... What was the woman's name since I saw her ID?
Xochi.
Xochi?
It was Xochi Mendoza.
I'm going to ask her if she can tell Xochi if she came here to help fix the city heart. Because I can see a woman in front of me right now covered in spider-like creatures.
Okay, I'll tell Sochi. We can see, not in this world, but in another, that there's a woman. Sorry. A woman that's hurting and covered in weird crustaceans.
That's her. That's City Heart. You can see her. You have to do something to help her. I don't know what, but something. Otherwise, those horrible monsters that you said you saw, there's going to be a lot more of those. And a lot more innocent people are going to get taken over. And about this point, Yanis, as you turn the mirror a certain way, you begin to sort of feel yourself falling towards the glass, and you pull yourself away at the last second.
All right. Got it working. Let's go.
Oh, shit.
And I'm going to activate it.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you know that you are going by yourself unless you are physically holding anybody. So are you going to grab anybody?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to join hands? What is going on here? Also, who is going?
I'm gonna put my arms around everyone. I can.
Bro hug. We're all bros.
I don't know how her communication is gonna work. Jumping realities, but we'll find out.
All right, so Yanis suggests a group hug from everybody, unless you're literally going to run around the room and, like, scoop people up with a fucking clothesline.
I mean, I would have come back to the group once I finished my candle thing, especially when she starts talking to something.
I will grasp his arm like that and be ready to cross worlds.
Just put my hand on his shoulder, be like, okay.
I'm gonna assume Yanis just grabbed and pulled, and I'm gonna yell a little bit.
I just do whatever the axe man with the gun says.
I can't. I don't want to provoke him.
He's got a gun. I'm not going to question it. He knows about this weird shit. I'm not going to question
women
it.
die.
All right. So, Yanis, you sort of group hug everybody. You stare into the mirror, and the sensation of falling begins to come over all of you. That primal sense of the world being pulled out from underneath your feet that comes from underneath your diaphragm, and you just sort of drop into this cloudy, murky glass. and right about the time you hit the, let's call it the meniscus of the glass, which I know that's not the right word, but that's a word I learned from Josh, and he used it the last time he went dimension hopping, so I'm going to copy him. You hit the meniscus of the glass, the falling stops. And you find yourself in this oily, sludgy, sort of vague representation of the Isleta del Sur, and as you look around, the air seems to warble and shift as if you're underwater, but it's clearly not. Every step you take seems to echo. What do you do?
Can I kind of, with my understanding of the cosmology, can I kind of get a bearing of what level of deep into the universe we've just gone?
Yeah, you're in the near Umbra. This is the standard animistic spirit world.
We're not in Ghost Land yet.
Oh no, this won't take us there.
Is the penumbra the same as the as it would be for werewolves?
I believe the penumbra is the Shadowlands, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a little while. My cosmology might be rusty.
Because penumbra is part of a shadow.
Yeah, I believe it goes penumbra / Shadowlands / Dark Umbra / Low Umbra. All those are the same thing. And then you have the Umbra, as mages would call it, the near Umbra, regular animistic spirit world. And then you have just straight up the fucking dreaming.
Okay.
Where reality is what you make of it.
All right.
I know the land of the dead is separate from like the world of spirits.
Yeah.
Just because in werewolf I had to. In our Dark Ages werewolf game, I know I needed special abilities to look into the world of the dead.
Yeah.
All right, now that we're on the other side, can I see the woman more clearly?
If you were to leave the mission and like sort of go towards her, yes.
That's exactly what I'm doing. There is someone in distress, and I'm here to help. I'm going to go to where they are. I'm going to pull off one of those spider things and try to crush it in my hand.
Oh yeah, no problem. So what happens is as you leave the mission and you move towards her, you see what looks like this beautiful woman, literally made of almost like a constellation made of stardust. Her form outlined in great detail in these tiny bursts of starlight and glowing luminescence. And it seems to outline her entire form and trail down her collarbone to where it meets to what's the word I'm looking for? A sort of symbol of the star on the mountain glowing on her chest, but the light that sort of makes her up is dim. And as you approach, you snatch up one of these spider things and crush, and the rest of them just sort of... and they scatter like roaches fleeing towards the oily darkness. This woman seems to barely acknowledge you. She looks at you listlessly, almost looking through you, seeing that you were there, but little else.
I'm gonna tell everybody that she's the... What was it? The heart of the city. And that Sochi was there to try to help her.
I'm going to kind of scoop her up in my arms. She's huge. And this is an immense spirit that you're dealing with. She's not an Incarna. She's not. There's fuck man. I can't. It's been too long since I played werewolf. You have the Jaglings. You have the Gafflings. She's like one or two above those. So she is an immense, powerful spirit. Like imagine like half the size of Tafiti. Does that work for you? We've all seen Moana here. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I look to see what's ailing her? Other than the spider things that were crawling on her.
You're not really sure. The whole spirit world seems sick. It doesn't look like there's any one thing. It's almost like there's this sort of ambient sickness that is reflected in the Umbra, and it's reached the city heart. So, I don't know if Anae can still hear us. I'll wait for her to come
I'm
back.
here.
Okay.
I'm just letting Spuddy back in.
So, I'll tell you what is going on here. This part is deliberately, extraordinarily open-ended.
Okay.
You are people with the power of gods. How do you try to revitalize and purify the spirit of the city? I warn you, choose your answer carefully because what you choose will reverberate in the Chronicle proper. But as for what actually happens, that is entirely up to you. If Anae will sort of give more detailed account of the conversation, as Xochi seemed to imply, City Heart cannot necessarily... what's the word? She can be inoculated more than straight up cured. She can be safeguarded from the sickness that seems to have welled up. How would you like to do that?
Answers only.
So does she herself look sick, or like everything around her is like seeping into her?
She herself looks like she is ailing because of her surroundings, if that makes sense.
Okay.
We fix up the town square.
So you're saying this is something we need to immediately do right now?
I am not saying that. I am saying
Okay.
that this is the situation. How do you handle it? It is meant to be deliberately open-ended. This is the whole crux of Mage. You have the power of belief. You have the power of gods. What do you do with it? And what are the consequences of that? This might be something you do immediately. This might not be. It is entirely open-ended to how you think you want to sort of reinvigorate and purify the spirit.
I guess first things first. I want to see if I can just infuse her with quintessence.
She kind of is quintessence. Like, she is a whole bunch of just magical shit as a being of spirit, so just giving her quintessence is not gonna really do much.
Or consecrate her? Is that a thing?
You tell me.
I mean, if I can. What I would certainly like to do.
Consecrate her how? Consecrate her in the name of what?
So,
Name of the city.
so, like I said, Kaliman's whole paradigm is that everything is one thing. You know, you just need to break those barriers down in order to kind of see the connections between everything. And so in his way, like, the strengthening the physical is the same thing as strengthening the physical. So to him, there has to be something physically happening in the city to be causing some kind of sickness. So he can find the source of a physical sickness, he can heal the spiritual sickness. So I think his first thought would be to try to use spirit and life to try to see what is causing physical sickness that he could then use to cure spiritual sickness.
Okay. Roll it.
What do you want me to roll?
You're using spirit and life?
Yes.
Perception is just 1. Yeah, Arate diff 4.
That would be 2 successes.
2 successes. Explain to me this ritual that you use to evoke spirit and life.
It's probably sitting down in a meditative position in front of the heart of the city, and then taking out some sands that some bags of different colored sands that I keep on my person, and start creating a mandala on the floor in front of us that represents the city.
I am not as
And
smart as you, so you'll have to explain what a mandala is.
Like those like Tibetan patterns that they create out of sand, and they can be used like for like decorative art, but they can also be used as like a spiritual practice. So I took that as one of my practices. So I'm kind of trying to enter like a trance-like flow state where the mantra and the city are one, and I kind of look at it and interpret it and look for where the deviation is to try to find, where it lines up.
All right.
And then interpreting the signs that I create in the trance state to see what's causing the physical sickness.
I need you to roll a stamina difficult. Well, okay. First we're gonna do the Arate Diff 4. So go ahead and give me that roll.
1 success.
1 success. Good enough. Now give me stamina difficulty 9.
Ooh boy. One success.
1 success. As you do so, you immediately feel like you've been punched in the gut. There is this horrible, sickening cold that spreads from the center of your stomach through each of your muscles and clenches, and you double over, and you can just barely keep from vomiting as the most overpowering sensation of evil you've ever felt in your life begins to sort of creep over you. And as you look up, the umbra seems to peel and meld away, and you are looking almost at the city of El Paso from on high. The city is in complete darkness against a blood-red sky, and in the darkness of the shapes of the buildings and the skylines, a smoldering flame crops up on the west side. A smoldering flame crops up in the northeast, in central, on the east side, on Montana. All around the world, all around the city, more and more of these flames sort of erupt, and they are dirty and filthy and sort of smolder almost this grimy brown black, and the black smoke that rises from them is oily. And as the smoke rises, you can sort of see these sort of like an inky, almost amorphous depiction of those horrible crab monsters, and the dead mangled cats and skunks, and the horrific mutilated humans, like the one that you fought earlier, begin to almost swirl around it like a cloud, as these great pillars of smoke sort of merge together in the sky. And as the smoke merges together, you see this immense shape of these great spreading bat-like wings and these huge massive horns sort of pulling back over, extending like the great fucking apexes of mountains behind its shoulders. And the vision fades, and you are doubled over in the near umbra, clutching your gut and trying not to spill your lunch.
Kind of tightening his abs, Kaliman looks to the rest of the... I don't know if we're a cabal just yet, but I will look to the emerging cabal and say, fires of sickness all over the city. I can see where they are. I don't know what they are, but they're coalescing into one mass. We need to put them out.
Right.
And I'm going to try to commit to memory the best I could over like the physical map of the city where I saw the first big flame starting to rise up.
Okay. You were in some pretty intense pain while that happened, but I will give you Let's go with intelligence, bappity boo. Actually, no. We'll go with the perception alertness. I'm going to ask for a difficulty 10, and each success is one of the flames.
Ooh, boy. One success.
One success. All right. Which one would you like?
I imagine he lives in like I imagine he lives in one of the old homes near downtown, so anything near downtown is probably where he's gonna try to start.
Okay.
Like the old homes by UTEP, where a bunch of like some of the ones where like all the law offices get set up.
You may notate the downtown flame on your character sheet or anywhere else should you wish to do that. Oh, the Texas internet is happening? Yeah, we're fucking red right now. That sucks. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know what the fuck has been happening, but our connection has been shit lately, and I really hope it doesn't fuck us over too bad. Vancouver by night, how's it going? I am so sorry you came into us fucking buffering like a bastard. Our connection sucks right now.
And that's what I'm gonna tell the Cabal. Oh, is that what we're calling? Is that a circle or a Cabal?
I'm not sure, it doesn't matter. Dude, we have been red for like a solid couple of minutes straight. This sucks.
Oh no.
Okay, now it's starting to calm down. Nope. Orange, red, we're fucked. I guess just let's do what we can. I mean, no, by all means, continue. Hopefully this will look all right on YouTube. Okay, we're green again. Again, sorry about that. Vancouver by night. Good lord. Nope, red again. Fuck it. Just play.
So that's what I'm telling the group. I'm going to say I need to get back to the physical world in order to see what's going on over there.
Well, that's just the problem. This little tree is a one-way trip.
Actually, no, that's not true. You can absolutely go two ways with it.
I know.
But you can tell him that, sure.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him.
If that's the case, I'm going to
Don't believe you.
If you were to actually say that, I would ask to see the fetish to see if I can get it to work in reverse.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Hang on.
I didn't hear you, Tom. I don't know if anybody else was able to hear you.
Think you dropped something?
Yeah, dropping fucking ping apparently. Am I alive? Am I here yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just messing with you. I want to see your feet. I want to see your shocked expression for a second. All right. And then I leave without them. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So is that the plan, to investigate these mysterious flames?
That is my plan. I don't know if everybody else is coming with me or they have a different solution.
It's up
Well,
to
I'm
you
not
guys.
getting stuck.
Well, we only know where one flame is.
My hopeful assumption is finding out what's going on at that one area will give me an idea of what's going on at other places.
Yeah, I'm not staying behind if somebody's leaving with that
Yeah,
thing.
no, I'm good.
Okay. So you guys sort of dip back through the mirror, And as you do so, there is the strong smell of cigarette smoke in the air. And you see that somebody has arrayed a ring of cigarettes around the dead woman's body that are all burnt down to the nubs.
So I'm assuming this person is unfazed by us coming out.
Well, you don't see the person.
Oh, okay. Oh, I just see the cigarette nubs. Is somebody still smoking?
This is a reference. I mean, I assumed you and Tom would know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I get it.
I am missing the reference.
It's my demon.
Oh, okay.
Choosing anything and everything.
Okay, so
He's already come and gone.
since our internet seems determined to throttle us, I'm going to go ahead and call the session there. So, 5 XP for everybody. Ooh, who'd we lose?
Oh, wow.
I
Did not stick around. Just a...
5 XP for everybody. If anybody spent any willpower, you may recharge that. And now, let's start voting. But before we do that, so Anai, we had an agreement. 3 sessions asked and 3 sessions given. Now it is up to you. Will you continue to play with us, or have you had enough of World of Darkness?
I'll do at least one more because I wasn't counting the like pre-story one.
Okay.
Oh, the prologue is what you meant.
Yeah, that.
But how are you feeling if one was to venture a guess?
It's good. It's harder to think when I'm tired,
That's fair.
but yeah.
One thing I definitely wanted to get across was that World of Darkness is much different than a lot of like D&D style games where it's not usually combat focused. The first session was just because I needed to get you guys together, and the simplest way to do that was a punch up. And but I definitely, in the second session, I definitely wanted you to see that's far more about like problem solving than actual straight up violence. So
Okay.
it is a much different play style, and I hope that came through. But yeah, so that is the prologue. Yeah, votes. We were doing votes.
I will vote for Kali for fucking getting his spirit flung into the fucking void and sky.
All right, 1 vote for Josh. Are we getting
I will
any
vote
votes from
for,
chat, assuming they can fucking hear us because of the Texas fucking internet? Dude, somebody needs to go slap Spectrum, man. This is unacceptable, and this is the second week this has happened. And I know Melinda's been having issues with her streaming too, so this sucks. Daestra votes for Sky Bandit for navigating one of the hardest TTRPGs for a first game. This actually isn't her first. Like, she's played DCC with us, and I don't know, have you played, like, anything else?
Nope.
Well, DCC is kind of... Sorry, go ahead.
No, maybe like very, very little, just Dungeons and Dragons, but
Oh, yeah, that's you're part of Josh's campaign.
am I?
You were. His original campaign, back when we were playing with Zeke and Shelly and Joe and
Oh, yes,
Bob.
yes.
I think you were a
Yeah.
bard? Or I was a bard. One of us was a bard.
I was one of those little guys. Tiefling.
Not normally how people describe
Is that-
tieflings.
I
They're
remember
like 6
being
foot tall
told
demon people.
They were tiny.
No.
Or what was it, Josh?
Halfling?
A half? Were you thinking of a halfling or a gnome?
No, I don't remember. I remember. I don't know anymore. I have no idea. But I remember Josh saying that it was like a tiny little guy.
Mazzy votes for Anai for trying to figure out how to talk to the dead person.
Thank you.
Josh, where's your vote going?
I was also gonna vote for La Catrina for talking to dead people.
Useful skill.
Sometimes the easiest way to ask to find out information is to ask the person who just died.
Kyle?
I was gonna
vote for Josh for the choice comment of these people that I've introduced and they have yet to say anything. Let's go do dangerous shit together.
Starfinder Jack, how's it going? Sorry, buddy. Hey, you didn't miss much. We had a huge fucking technical flub at the end because our ISP sucked. Floating vote. Just pick whoever you like best. Anybody you want.
I was gonna give my vote to Josh for crushing spiders.
Josh for crushing spider. Everybody can crush a spider somewhere. We currently have a tie between Josh and Anai. And you know how this goes. You know how this goes. If we end in a tie, nobody gets it. And I hate doing that, but I had to do it because they fucking filibustered every fucking time, and I had to put a stop to that. So somebody's got to vote Tom, because Tom thinks. Excellent fucking reason. Okay, while we're waiting to see if any more votes come in, do I have one handy?
Here, I got it.
I mean, storyteller breaks ties, that's all I'm saying.
But I have to be impartial. Can you shift it like 6 inches that way? Thank you. Yeah, I done read it a book, and I think it's a pretty good book myself personally. So it is currently available on Amazon, Litany of the Destroyer, and it is about a knight during the 100 Years' War and fighting a demonic cult that seeks to bring about the biblical apocalypse. If you enjoy World of Darkness and particularly Dark Ages stuff, I think you'll dig it. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe check it out. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll put a link down below, and there should be a link just in any of our most recent YouTube ones, but I'm also the only Chaz LaBelle on Amazon, so go nuts! With that being said, Tom wins the vote.
Longest cat wins.
Whoever has longest what?
Just kidding.
No. Oh,
Whoever
Tom.
finds the longest cat.
Tom, you win. You win the vote by the anti-filibuster rules. So thank you, Starfinder Jack, for the 1 XP.
Ready?
Okay. With that, before we are just spilling frames left and right, I'm going to say goodnight, everybody. Is Mage on YouTube already? Not yet. I think I'm still working on, like, the last episode of Changeling, and then I still have D&D to go, but now that the prologue's done, I can probably just throw up Mage. Because I know you guys care about World of Darkness more anyway, which is no problem, I get it. Yeah. Anything else to say to these fantastic, wonderful people before we sign off?
No. Have a good night or a good morning if you're in Europe.
Yeah, I am so sorry, Starfinder Jack. It absolutely sucks to come in on the end like that. Gomena, sorry, my friend. You guys have a good one. Thank you for being here. You're all wonderful. Thank you guys for playing. And good night.